So anyway, let's do it. Monster of the Week. Yeah, it's a super fun game. This game is like kind of trying to emulate X-Files, or the examples they use in the book are X-Files, Supernatural, uh, Buffy the Vampire Slayer a lot, and then Dresden Files, if you are familiar with Dresden Files. Then reference a few other things as well. One they don't reference, which I always reference, is Hellboy, but because it's not a TV show, I guess it's not considered Monster of the Week, but it's very much the same genre. In fact,
Okay.
we're going to talk about team configurations. Like the playbooks you chose are going to fit together in a certain way. Your characters are going to have relationships with one another. And you guys kind of have a Hellboy team set up. There's a few that like they recommend in the book. So we'll talk about that, which is pretty cool. I'm excited about that. But on that note, let's jump right in. I think all of you should have character sheets in Roll20. If you click the journal tab at the top right, it looks like a book.
Journal.
Go down to the hunters, expand that, and you should see your character name. If you click that,
Hey, there it is.
click that sucker, it's going to open a character sheet for you. And we are going to fill those puppies out.
There we go.
All right.
Let's see. So you're going to be a monster hunter. I'll take you through what happens first. The first time you sit down to play, that's what the book says. The first session, you create your hunters and investigate your mystery. The first step is to decide if the group wants to pick a team concept, as I mentioned. That's the reason you're a team. For example, we all work at a secret monster hunting agency, or we defend our hometown against monsters that keep coming here. I have some ideas that I'll tell you guys in a second. If you have a team concept that needs certain hunter types, allocate those first. So let's go over what hunter types you guys have chosen. Pierce, you're the monstrous, which is described as a monster fighting for the good guys, which is why I thought Hellboy. But also, you get to pick your powers. Like, you might be a werewolf, you might be a ghost, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. But yeah, so this is a team of monster hunters we're building, chat, if you didn't catch that. And we'll talk about why they're a team in a second. So the monstrous is very weird. Weird is like the magic stat in this game. You can have a variety of different powers based on what breed you are. We have Markars, you're the professional, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
The professional works for an agency that hunts monsters. Yes, Purce can become Sasquatch. That's correct. Zazquatch. So Markers works for an agency that hunts monsters. The professional is good in a fight, so you're like good with guns and stuff. You're a good team player. We have Emmett. Emmett, you are the Flake, right?
That's right.
A conspiracy theorist. The Flake is great at finding things out and seeing how the events of separate mysteries can be connected. So that'll be good.
It's always connected.
In the long term, it's all connected. Then Thorny, you're Eli, and Eli is the expert.
Yep.
So the expert is a hunter who knows all about monsters and magic. The expert knows a lot of hidden secrets and how to find out more, and also has a well-supplied base to work from, which is cool. Kind of like, I don't know, Van Helsing-ish. So that's the books you've chosen. Again, like now we kind of can talk about how they fit together as a concept. In previous games, I have a Monster of the Week setting called Division 13, and we might use that again if you guys like it. Division 13 is just like a secret government agency that investigates, cleans and covers up, and observes and monitors like paranormal situations in the United States. They're a hidden branch of, you know, the armed forces and the FBI.
Ooh, okay.
So that could be like the agency Markars Eric works for, since he's the professional. He's like a division. You're the only one who's like an actual employee. Hey, DZ. Thanks for the follow, DZ.
Easy.
And then like Ecto, again, kind of like I'm pitching a Hellboy concept where like Ecto, the government, you're the other one who's like an employee. They give you a living space that as long as they can study you and you use your powers to help them like find more people like you or in supernatural problems discreetly.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Emmett, you're the flake, so we can talk a minute. Like, you guys are going to do a little background thing about how you know each other, but obviously you know too much, so now you're part of the team. And Eli, I don't know how you came to join the team. Again, we're going to do a little group, like, history exercise in a moment, but it makes sense that they would need your expertise. I almost wonder, and we can get into this more in a second, like, was Eli hunting Ecto at some point? Eli's a trained monster hunter. Ecto's a monster. Were they enemies that are now, like, working together?
Enemies to lovers?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. All right, let me pull up some stuff here. First of all, I made a couple handy things for you guys. We'll get into this more. When we're playing the game, if you look in like the chat window, I made this little thing in Roll20.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm gonna chat back up. Yes.
All of those links will open handouts for you with the rules. The Hunter Moves one is particularly handy for when I ask you to roll something. I'll pull them up and I'll drop them in chat a lot. If you like click Hunter Moves, it pops a pop-up window. I'll show chat so they can see what you're seeing. Let's see. So you go to this window. And if you scroll down in Hunter Moves, that links out to more detailed descriptions of each of them. If you like pop.
Okay.
Oh.
And then I also made... Oops. This is more specifically just Hunter Moves, which is nice. So I'll be dropping that for you guys. And then I also have this one, which you can pull up your character sheets quickly by clicking your character name there.
Oh, cool.
Oh, great. Okay.
Oh, I am a green blob on this one. Oops, what's going on?
Gotta get that source.
Sorry, guys. We had a little bit of a hasty start this morning. This is why we do a session 0 right here. It's not even for you guys. It's just for me to work out the kinks.
Beautiful.
Okay, so yeah, let's jump into it. I gotta find my little first session summary thing. One thing I love about this game is, unlike a lot of D&D games, it really very explicitly tells you how to run the game as a game master in a really easy to understand way, and I love that about it. All right, so we discussed team concepts. Now, guide the others through picking playbooks and creating their hunters. So you've picked your playbook. If you guys don't have the PDF open somewhere on your computer, you're probably going to want that. Weird. I just noticed this overlay has a weird thing in the loop, too.
Yeah.
The names pop in and out. Oh, well. So if you have that open, you're going to want to look up your class, your playbook, and it literally walks you through. And actually, if you look at your character sheet, it also pretty much walks you through step by step what you're supposed to do.
That's super nice.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I showed you that that Hunter Moves reference in the chat. Your character sheet actually has all of that information on it as well, which is really cool. And like a drop down window. We'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, on your sheet, you choose a set of stats first. They call them ratings in this game. On like the left side of your sheet, if you scroll down under your stats, the stats are charm, cool, sharp, tough, and weird. And right under that, it says starting stats. You guys see that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's see. If I'm in the right spot here.
You see on the left side of your sheet, Pierce, charm, cool, sharp, tough, weird.
Oh, yeah.
And then right under that it says starting stats.
Okay. Yep.
So on that starting stats thing, you can hit that drop down menu. And it will let you pick a stat array. In this game, you don't roll for stats. They just have a few pre-made sets you choose from. And it should fill out your stat bubbles for you on your sheet once you choose one. So, to understand what the ratings mean, I believe like a 0 is pretty average. A 1 is pretty good at something. And a 2 is like really good at something.
No matter what I do, my weird will be +3. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to mess up the webcams real quick so I can grab the PDF.
Imagine being a monster with 0 weird.
Yeah.
you're fine.
That doesn't make any sense.
+3 cool.
That could be. You could be a monster that's all cool. Shit.
So how do I know what I want to have more in? Like,
Well, I will tell you how each one correlates to one of the moves real quick, and then you can decide what moves you want to be like good at. I think that's the way to go.
Sure.
Hold on, I'm sorry, chat. I keep messing up the webcams because I'm trying to get the PDF open, but it's not working out for me.
it's okay. If I was running it, you would have seen all the exact same stuff because I was unfull screening and then moving stuff around.
There's so many windows to play RPGs already.
Yeah.
That it's a lot. All right, so team concepts. So before you get started, let's talk about moves. All right, this game is based on another game called Powered by the Apocalypse, and it's spawned a whole game engine called the Apocalypse System, or Powered by the Apocalypse System. It's a super simple story-based game. It runs completely on moves. Everything cool or extraordinary that your hunter can do is called a move, and that's how we like adjudicate it rules-wise. And you have a list of basic moves that all hunters can do. And then your like class gives you a couple extra moves too that you can do. But they're really straightforward, and they're set off by a trigger, which is just some certain situation happens in the fiction that will set off your move. So after you recognize the move's trigger, it tells you, the game just tells you what to do next. So let's talk about the basic moves and how those ratings correlate to it. So a -1 is bad, a 0 is average, a +3 is phenomenal with your ratings. Let me find that moves list real fast. So act under pressure. You can look at this on your sheet too, guys. There's a hunter moves reference tab near the top of your sheet.
Oh yeah. Okay, there it is.
Click that, and then like click the arrow next to act under pressure, for instance, and it says under that, when you act under pressure, roll +cool. So act under pressure is one that's used a lot. It's kind of a catch-all. So cool is very helpful. Are you seeing that, Pierce, the hunter moves?
Yeah.
So cool is used for a lot of things. Helping out is cool. Investigating a mystery is sharp. Kicking ass is tough. Manipulating people is charm. Protecting people is tough. You can read a bad situation with sharp. And some playbooks like prioritize certain stats. Like for instance, I think the professional Markars, you might get some sort of special move that makes your sharp skill even better. Kind of deal.
Yeah, I think there's something in there.
Anyway, if you do not like your stats or you regret them in an hour, you can absolutely come back and change them. So don't get too hung up on it.
Perfect.
Let me know when you all have your stats chosen.
My
right.
stats are chosen.
Also chosen.
Mine as well.
Yeah, I'll go with this. Cool, perfect.
All right. So next, you. One second. So now you just basically go through your playbook in the PDF. It's going to tell you exactly like the few things in your sheet you need to fill out.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at. I'm going to look at Pierce's, just so chat gets an idea of what that looks like. Also, I'm very interested in some of the choices you're going to make here, Pierce, as far as what kind of monster you are.
I am also curious.
So, like, the monstrous is on page 60 of the PDF.
Yep.
Here, I can do this.
Actually, like 62.
Yeah.
Instead is reading.
So, like, your look, that's an important one. Pick one from the list. I like these. They're just, like, short little sentences with, like, kind of the important parts of what your character looks like.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the look.
Yeah, the look. Pick the look for sure. And, yeah, name. I guess you guys already have names. Breed. Pierce gets to pick a breed for the monstrous. You're half human, half monster. If you were always this way, or if you were originally human and transformed somehow, now decide if you were always fighting to be good, or if you were evil and change sides. And then you pick a monstrous breed. You can make one up too, but it suggests vampire, werewolf, ghost, fairy, demon, orc, zombie.
Ooh, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to be a ghost.
I mean, your character's name's
So-
Ecto. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a I have a visual for my character. So
Nice. I don't know why, but
green and goopy.
oh, I was imagining your character looked like Ness, but like see-through and glowing green. And,
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
like that.
and like
better.
instead of feet, he's got like a little Casper tail. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot.
That was just the first thing that popped in my head when I thought of like you as a ghost character.
Yeah, definitely. I'd probably do that, but like a little bit taller.
Yeah, a little bigger than Ness. Ness is a tiny little boy.
And this is going
like-
through puberty.
Yeah,
Like ghost
3 feet
puberty.
tall. So on where it says look, pick one from each list. The blank. What am I supposed to fill that in with?
On like the character sheet. Hold
No, like on
Let me
on
look
the
at.
PDF. It has like a blank in each one of these.
Let me see.
I guess I took it as just like if you want something else.
Yes, yeah,
If
you
you had an idea.
can fill one out if you want, or just choose a pre-made one. So like you could go half human, evil aura, and then you don't like the clothes option, so you could do like tight leather clothes for the last one.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well I'm a ghost, so I guess what do you pick from that? From the first one?
I would say half human, right? Like
Half
you're human
human,
in
yeah.
you're human in shape, mostly, right?
Yeah, in form, yeah.
Let's call it half human.
Okay.
Or you know what?
Uh,
Why don't you could make one up for that? You could put like ethereal there.
Yeah, that's good.
Or see-through.
Yeah, I like ethereal. Is there anywhere I'd actually fill that out?
On your sheet, there should be a,
Oh, where it says look.
section, yeah, to type in your look.
Ethereal. Let's see, for my aura. Ooh, man. energetic aura. And do sports clothes, if that makes sense.
I love
Absolutely.
That's the only kind of clothes I wear, so I don't.
Sports clothes.
Sports, mostly sports clothes. Look at
Yeah.
me.
Old sport clothes.
Because gaming is a sport now, guys.
Hey, yeah, true.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
There you go.
All right, that's my look.
All right, everybody progressing through their PDF nicely. Let's see what's next for Pierce. Got your breed. Got your monster breed. So you got to drop that in your sheet. Okay, so you're cursed. You have a lot of power, but you also have a curse.
Oh, well, naturally as a ghost, I guess.
Yep. You either have to feed, you have a vulnerability to a certain substance, you have a pure drive that you can't ignore. That one makes more sense for fairies. That's like the Tinkerbell effect. And Dark Master, you serve an evil lord who doesn't know you are working for the good side.
Ooh, that is cool.
That is fun.
I do like Dark Master.
I'm into it.
I'm down with Dark Master.
This game, every character has like a juicy story option
Yeah.
built into their sheet like that. And then you have some natural attacks. It tells you to pick two based on like what you are. You know what I mean? So for a ghost, you could
okay.
do magical force and life drain if you want.
Yeah.
You pick the base ones, and then when you level up, you can choose extras to make your attacks stronger, Pierce.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do one harm magical close or one harm intimate life drain.
I have
Yeah,
a
okay.
question when you.
Absolutely. What's your question?
So under my character's agency, it says they have two resources that I can pick from. One of them is official pull, and the other is recognized authority. I'm not sure what the difference would be between those two.
Let me take a look. 1 second. Let's see. Under resources, official pull, or what was the other one?
Recognized authority.
So official pull to me means like you have a badge you can pull out or people you can call that can get you a lot of things or into a lot of places. Whereas recognized authority means to me you're like either your agency is well known and it spooks people when they learn that that's who you're with, and that can be used as like a leverage tool. They're almost the same thing with a little different connotation, I guess. I also think recognized authority could be that like you're a bit famous, like you cracked a famous case and people are like actually recognize you, like that's the famous agent from the Roswell thing on the news.
Okay.
You know, but you could use that celebrity to maybe
Okay, gotcha.
to your advantage. The thing about a lot of those, and they do this on purpose, is that they're two-way streets. Like you can use them as a bonus, but I can also possibly use some of these things. I say against you, but to complicate the story for you is a better way to put it.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, you can use your celebrity, but you may also be swamped by true crime podcast fans, you know, in public or whatever.
Ooh.
Oh shit, acid jazz. I gotta turn this up. This is my jam chat.
Okay, I'm seeing where everything's at on the sheet now.
Nice.
At first, I was like, where are all these things?
Yeah, it's laid out a little different. It also has those like drop down sections.
Yeah.
Do you have to expand? It's actually a really nicely made sheet. It works
Yeah.
super well.
Oh, it absolutely is.
I love having all the hunter moves on your sheet. That's so helpful. Like the rules for them.
All right, I'm at the part where it says stop and wait for the others.
Nice. How's it going for you there, KB? Knucklebone?
I'm getting pretty close. So I've done my look and my rating and my moves and my gear.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sweet. The True Crime Podcast fans are the real enemies, Hamilton says. Maybe that's who I'll make the villain.
All right, cool.
Chat, by the way, my Discord bot, or rather my chat bot, dropped my Discord link in chat. If you ever want to play RPGs, like, it doesn't have to be on stream. In fact, I mostly don't play on stream. You can play too. I run a lot of games. I teach people how to play all the time. Both Knucklebone and Thorny play with me very often off stream. But we have a couple other people. It's super welcoming community. If you ever want to play RPGs or just keep up on my streams, jump in the Discord, baby.
Most definitely.
Yeah, so you guys are playing like two different games this week alone.
Yeah, we started a new like open table thing. I'm really excited about it. So anybody, open table meaning anyone can jump in and play, by the way.
Mhm.
Whether it's one session or 3. I feel like everybody's getting pretty close. Everybody's still filling out a little bit.
I'm on
Little bit.
introductions, so
Just describing one of my move picks. I have to input some description.
Nice. Oh, sweet. I love that. And again, if you like change your mind about your moves or you realize there was a better one you like better, next session, I'm not that worried if you change it. After that, though, they're permanent.
Yes.
me trying to figure out what that button does, and I'm just spamming that in the chat.
Oh, that's all right. I noticed the Chrome game is not updating the chat unless I have the window open, which is annoying. My like window capture game is not working, playing nice. Oh, it's all right. We could fix it for next time. All right, so introductions. Let's talk about that.
Agreed.
Once we're ready, everyone introduces themselves. Take turns introducing your hunters. The most important thing you should describe is your hunter's name, your playbook, which we know, your look. The look is really important. And then I'll ask you a couple questions about like the specific moves you chose because I'm interested, or like any story implication kind of moves your character playbook might have. Let's start with Purce, I guess. Let's just go left or right.
All right. My character's name is Ecto. I'm playing as the Monstrous, as you guys know. I am a ghostly figure. My look is ethereal with an energetic aura, and I wear a baseball uniform. I am technically half human. I mean, I'm a ghost. So, I originally was on the evil side of things, and I defected when in a dire situation I had a change of heart. What else do I need to describe?
That's good. That's great. Super interested. There's a lot of like, what's the history of the baseball uniform? What's the meaning behind it? It makes me think of fucking, what's the movie with Shoeless Joe? Is it Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
Makes me think of Field of Dreams.
Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the Outfields. Yeah, yeah. I like it.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the kind of idea I'm going with.
I dig it. Okay, so you're the monstrous you chose. We kind of talked through your choices, so I have some idea of them. Were there any like moves or choices in your character sheet that were like story based at all?
For me, not really. I mine kind of made sense. Immortal, I'm already dead, so I do not age or get sick.
How
And
long
things from me.
how long has Ecto been dead? And does your team know that? Is it something you share and talk about?
Uh, that I don't age or sicken.
Or just like how long have you been dead? Like did you die in World War II? Like you know what I mean? Or
Yeah, he's a little old timey. I think they can tell that just from looking at him, but I think the only other way that people really know is sometimes he'll reference things or talk like and use vocabulary that nobody uses anymore.
oh, I like that. That's fun.
Could be like,
It's just kind of like, okay, old man.
Hamilton says
But he's not like old. I
Old.
would say he's like in his 30s maybe. But
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, perfect. Yeah, he died when he wasn't old when he died.
exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I love that. So you live at Division 13, like you've ended up working with them. It's a coincidence that you just haunt their base, or like
No, they know about me.
you do
I
work
work
with
for
them.
them as a yeah, let's see, like kind of like witness protection.
Are there any other ghosts in the program?
No, it's just me.
Nice. Okay. Very interesting. All right, let's go to Eric, the professional.
yes, sir.
Tell us Eric's look and any little interesting backstory the other hunters would already know about Eric from working with him. We're gonna assume you guys have done a couple jobs together already.
Okay. Well, I'm an older gentleman. Got the tailored suit. I'm actually really happy when you mentioned your description of Division 13, because the idea I had from this character is kind of basing it on Agent K from Men in Black. So
Love that.
it's kind of perfect, right?
That's thus the sunglasses. Now I get it.
Yeah, that's why I pulled out the sunglasses.
Perfect. I love the costume.
Mostly remain shrouded in mystery. I do have a backstory, but
Okay.
it's probably not yet known to the people that I work with.
Gotcha. As far as your here, let me look at your character sheet. I should probably just take a peek at everyone's real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Eric. Let's see what kind of cool stuff you get to choose. Your weapon is a 9mm pistol.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very agency of you.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Committing.
You have a truck, van, or car built for monster hunting. Tell us about that.
That is a old sleek sedan. It's classic. And it's got some built-in gadgets, some stuff. Maybe a couple of guns come out the side, or maybe a little bit of a spy hunter type vehicle, like
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
hit the oil slick,
Great, wonderful reference. Let's just play Spy Hunter the rest of the stream. What do you have a name for it? Like they make a good point in chat. They call it the mystery machine, but what do you like? Let's get to the what do you call it? Let's get to the blank.
I didn't even think of a name for it.
It's cool. It could just be like you could call it the Interceptor. That's what they call police cars,
Oh yeah. Oh, so this one is Division Model P95.
Okay. Love it. Let's get to the P95. Or it's the car. You could always call it the car, too. But
Yeah, it's called the car.
the whip, he calls it his whip.
The whip.
Cool. Just scrolling.
I do have a question for you because that was one thing I didn't do was my gear because I was going to ask you about it. I totally forgot.
Sure, yeah.
can I make my own custom gear, but just take the stats from something else?
Absolutely, yeah. Reskin,
Okay.
reskin anything that makes sense for you to reskin.
Okay. Because I wanted a baseball bat, but I'll just use like the stats of the sword.
Perfect, dude. That works great. Just change the tags, like however many tags the sword has here. I actually have a real 20 handout for this somewhere. Weapons and armor, weapon tags. So if the sword had 2 or 3 tags or whatever, give it the same harm tag.
Okay.
I just popped up that handout. I don't know if you see that.
Yeah. I do.
And then scroll down and give it 2 that makes sense. Like there's probably something for like blunt objects or
Yeah. Okay, cool.
maybe messy would be a good one for the bat.
Yeah, I was gonna do messy. Alright, get a different.
A lot of guts and gore. Ugh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it'll have close, of course, as its range tag.
Yeah.
Cool. I love that. Okay, last thing for Eric.
Yes, sir.
Your resources, you chose official pull, which is cool, and weird tech gadgets, which I love because I don't want to give any spoilers at all, other than this story may involve weird science or what did they call it? The mixture of magic and science, but we'll see.
Oh, nice.
We'll see. Your red tape. Now, this is one I was really interested in because this is one I have to play as the keeper. You chose bureaucratic and live capture policy, which is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So Division 13 is not, if at all possible, there are obviously some exceptions to this, like when your life is on the line, depending on how important the current case is. But yeah, they want to study this stuff. They do not want you to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they wanted to join the team.
Yeah, I was picking up on that from your description. I was like, yeah, that sounds. Those two sound like right up its alley.
Yep, love that. And the bureaucratic, that just makes sense. This is an FBI branch, hidden, and they're hidden and highly classified. So yes, there's always forms. There's always 4 levels of people guarding you. There's always 8 locked doors to get to anything here. Now, do you get a base? Is that a thing you have, or is that? No, that's you, Eli, right? You get a base.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a safe haven.
Awesome. All right, we'll get to that. Cool. So that's Eric. Let's talk about Emmett real quick. Tell us Emmett's look and anything the team would know from working with Emmett.
Okay, yeah, so Emmett is a young gentleman. The thing that sticks out most are his focused, constantly scrutinizing eyes, usually somewhat bloodshot, constantly observing his surroundings. He wears very comfortable casual clothes. He's not exactly fashionable. He's definitely a socks and Adidas slides on the regular, like going to work type individual. And he is a flake. He sort of he sort of started making connections regarding the paranormal when he started a blog about paranormal activity as sort of a hobby while he was working his job as a night security guard. He would notice strange things and blog about them, and apparently he got a little bit too close, and Division 13 had to step in and be like, hey, you know too much. Your options are disappear or work for us. And he was like, okay, well, I don't want to disappear. So now he just shitposts. But he has a job doing paranormal investigations now.
I actually love this setup for the flake. This is really, really good. I think this is a harder character to set up story-wise. That's great. You know what it reminds me of, Knucklebone, is the dude in the new Godzilla movies who worked for the company. And then he ends up he has a podcast where he has conspiracy theories about the company he works for, and then he ends up getting wrapped up in all the Godzilla stuff. I love that. I love his character in those movies. That's what it reminds me of. Excellent. Let me look at your sheet. Let me see what kind of juicy stuff you picked real quick here.
Yeah, so
What's that?
I was gonna say I can tell you a little bit about my moves.
Yeah, did you pick
Um,
any interesting special moves?
So I have connect the dots, which is sort of an interesting move at the beginning of each mystery. I can look for the wider patterns and the current of events that we might be part of, and roll a sharp roll. And on a 10 plus, I get 3 charges. 7 to 9, I get 1. And I can basically use those to get extra information at any point during the mystery. I can ask the keeper a question um, about current events. Is this person connected? When and where will the next critical event occur? I basically am able to put the red lines together on the cork board um, sort of ahead of time. I also took net friends. I know a lot of people on the internet naturally. Um,
He's
I contact
he's very
my
online.
friends.
Very online.
I'm extremely online. I can contact my internet friends to help with a mystery by rolling a
Oh,
charm. And on a 10, they're able to help. On a 7 to 9, they'll help for a cost. And any lower than that, we are no longer internet friends.
Oh, okay. I love that.
Oh, no.
Unfollow. Block.
Unfollowed, blocked, canceled.
Yeah.
For my gear, I've got the a 9mm. It was not division issued. It's definitely 3D printed.
Oh yeah.
And I also have a Watchman's flashlight that I stole from my old night guard job, and I also have a garroting wire.
Ooh, a little
For
piano.
when it gets really
man.
spooky.
Little piano wire on a handle.
Whoa.
Cool. That's brutal.
Man.
I love that. So real quick, just as an aside to what Knucklebone's talking about, this is bonuses and holds. Is something a lot of your moves are going to work on this system. It's really simple. Some things get what's called a forward. If you get 1 forward, you get +1 on your next roll only, and then it's gone. So you're in like an advantageous position in a battle, for instance. You get the high ground, you have +1 forward. In your next roll, you can add +1 to it. Obviously, high rolls are better. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And low rolls are worse. If you get ongoing, if you get +1 ongoing from a move, you get +1 to every roll you make until it doesn't apply anymore. Until I say, okay, like you've lost that advantage and it's gone. So on +1 ongoing or +2 ongoing is really good. A hold. When you get a hold, you get a number of points. Each one can be spent for 1 for 1 to get a specific effect. The move will list the effect you can spend your hold on. So like the investigate move, if you roll really well, it might be like you get 3 hold. You can spend each one on a different question that I will answer honestly. Like you find the truth of that specific question, if that makes sense. So they're like tokens you can spend on greater effect. We'll get into hold more. Only a couple moves use that. Cool. So as far as your flake goes, let's see. Just scrolling your sheet. All right. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Let's move to our last but not least, Thorny. You are playing Eli. Tell us about Eli's look and what the other hunters might know about him.
Yeah, Eli, short for Elliot. He is the expert. He has a very thoughtful face, very childlike in a sense. You'd think that he might be younger than he is, and he wears very utilitarian clothes. So like, you would guess that maybe they're tactical pants, but they look like they're probably home rigged. And he's got like,
Whoa.
kind of like a old bomber jacket that the patches are kind of all being sewn back onto.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. The pants that unzip into shorts.
Yeah,
Nice.
Very versatile.
Like it maybe far away you might think he's a cop until you got close, and then you were like, "Oh no, that's
He's
what's
just
going
like
on
that.
here." Mm-hmm.
So what does the rest of the team know about him as far as his origins as a monster hunter and why he has this specialized knowledge?
So him being probably in his early 20s, you know that he lives at home with his dad still. And the reason he's such an expert is because at a young age he started researching the paranormal just as a hobby, and he's gone down a weird rabbit hole of reading people's internet blogs and different books and old Grimm's fairy tales and everything. But really, he's kind of just like a kind of like an old shut-in, kind of, like one of those kids in school that would, keyboard warrior, played a lot of games in his basement, and took it a little too far in life.
So there's this concept that Division 13 talks about, which is the veil, which is like the public assumption that magic and monsters aren't real. And like Eli, obviously, all of you have pierced the veil, quote unquote, into the world of knowing that monsters and magic and things are real. How did that happen for Eli? What took him from like studying very seriously into like, I've encountered a monster, I've fought a monster, like I know they're real, I know Division 13 is real. What was that moment for him, if there was one?
He was flipping through some of his dad's old casework and basically started kind of seeing these weird reports that they couldn't explain, and he started looking deeper into those and finding out that they were from the paranormal. They were coming from ghost encounters and potential vampires and things like that. And he started kind of looking into that because his dad wouldn't believe him whenever he was pointing it out.
I feel like, though, I want him to have had like a real experience. Like, you're already working with Division 13. You've encountered these things. Maybe investigating those case files, you ran into something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like he probably tried to get him and his friends together to go like search the sewers for the missing kids, or let's go to that old haunted house and see what's really happening, and came face to face with like horrific slasher beasts, and probably lost a friend to it in the past too.
Oh, wow. Oh, very, very interesting. Cool. All right, well, that's the team. Let's talk about how you know each other. That's the next step. Histories, or do they call them histories or backgrounds? No, history, yeah.
I
So
think there's some obvious connections to make between Emmett and Eli.
absolutely. Someone in chat said Eli found Emmett's blog,
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
which is hilarious. So I have this nifty, let's see, there we go,
Ooh.
connections sheet. 1 second.
Oh, sick. Oh my god, it's the Pepe Sylvia board.
Yeah, literally.
We've got boxes full of Pepe.
All right. Let me drag your tokens out here.
Oh, excellent.
Actually, this is good exercise for you who don't use Roll20 often. If you go to the journal tab, the one that looks like a book, you can click not your actual, this is confusing, not the character token, but your character name, like where you would click to open the character sheet. If you drag the text to the field, it will actually drag your token out. Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah,
Text.
why wouldn't they make it that you click the token
other way
to
around.
drag the
Yeah,
token?
art.
Makes zero fucking sense. Anyway,
Been wondering that for 5 years.
yep. Roll20 has quirks for sure. It's nice that you can pull your own token out.
Whoa, how did that just happen?
I'm resizing it for
Is
you.
this Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, so obvious connections. Let's talk about those first. Emmett and Eli. Now, you do have a section on your character sheet called History, if you look. And that has some options. Technically, what we would do here is we would go around and everyone would pick one history for another hunter, and like a shared history that they have. Some picks will require extra detail. Follow the instructions listed and make a note on your character sheet. By the way, you do have journals, but you can also just hit the edit button on your top right of your sheet. And there's like a text window there that you can fill in, a text editor. If you scroll down, descriptions and notes. You also don't have to take notes at all if you don't want. Well, these things maybe you should, just these histories. But So yeah, Emmett, Eli, do you have a history on your sheet that makes sense? It doesn't have to be one of the ones on the sheet. Like if it's something that just makes sense in the story, like Eli found Emmett's blog, for instance, we can just go ahead and roll with that.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if Eli and Emmett were friends, like maybe even like neighbors when they were like really young, like elementary, middle school, and then one of them moved to a different school and they stopped talking, stopped hanging out, and then they got back in touch through blogging.
Are you writing the blog and me researching it for clues?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I like it. There's one here that says they once helped you get a singular item that is now part of your haven. And I have this I have a blessed knife as one of my weapons. So I think that if you'd written some like lore on that, I would have probably looked way too deep into it to try to find this blessed knife.
That's right. I wanted to talk about I didn't go through your character sheet much, Eli. I want to talk about your haven, but I do like that connection. I think that works. You helped him find like a relic, or gave him this relic.
Mhm. And then for my history, one option that sticks out, there's a couple options that stick out. Like the bottom one, though, is you know each other through cryptozoology and conspiracy theory websites.
I like that one. Is that what you want to go with?
I think that's what we're going with.
So, what was it? You know each other through cryptozoology websites?
Yeah, conspiracy theory websites. We're both on the same, like, fringe dark web forums.
I'm a fan of your writing, so I'm just always following you around on the internet. Like, what else has he written? What else has he written?
We met on 4chan, yeah.
They met on 69chan.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, so that's yours for him. What was the one you chose again, Jim? Like, what was the wording?
They were sorry, where'd it go? They once helped you get a singular item that is now part of your haven. Tell them what it is or what it was.
What is it, like a magical dagger?
Yeah, it says it's a blessed knife.
Blessed knife.
I imagine it's some like old Pope's letter opener.
How did that happen? How did that come about? Like that's a lot of what these histories try and do is set up like that you've had a previous adventure together.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them. Like what did you guys have to go through? Something together in person to get this knife. Was that your first Division 13 thing together?
Maybe there was like somebody unrelated posted on one of the forums that we both were on, like, "Hey, I found this knife at a weird antique shop. Does anyone know anything about it?" And then we both went on a wacky road trip to go and pick it up and try and buy it from this guy. And then on the way back, we got intercepted by Division 13, and that's how we ended up in the organization.
Oh, I like that. Can I throw in
a road trip to Erie, Indiana?
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Can I throw in like a possible twist on that?
Yeah, definitely.
That it wasn't the item, it was like a map to go find the item that the person
Okay.
posted, and you guys went and did it, and like you followed the map, like went on a road trip and followed this map to some weird ruin or abandoned place and got the knife, and that's where Division 13 literally got you, like as you handed him the knife that you took off this like pedestal, Indiana Jones style, you know. Cool.
Yeah.
Love that. So you two have a history. Let's do one between Ecto and Eric, because I think that one has some obvious connotations as well. Like,
Definitely.
Eric, you could be kind of a... Like, I think in the first Hellboy movie, actually, you could be kind of a keeper of sorts, you know?
Like you could be like my assignee kind of thing.
Yeah, or it could be that, like, it's not your normal assignment, but you're being punished.
Yeah. Yo, yeah, I like that a lot.
Big pun.
I have an idea for Eli and Emmett, but I'm yeah, that'd be good for.
I did have an idea that could, flesh out my character's backstory a little bit.
Sure.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
So we could be related. So you said how old is your character?
He's like 30.
He's like
in his
30.
30s.
And so that is like currently. How long did he? Do you know how long ago he died, kind of thing?
I haven't really told you guys. He just he seems a little old timey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like extremely old timey. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
I would say he could be like your great uncle or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
My great uncle. Yeah. Like a descendant of the bloodline here. Like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they assigned him to me. Like.
He's definitely like 1930s, 1940s or something. Well, earlier.
Okay.
years.
Oh yeah, that's
He could be
pretty.
my dad.
Yeah, that's pretty old. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I said 1940s, thinking that was old, and I was like, that really is not that.
No,
old.
that's when my dad was born. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like it, but if you want to be that old Pierce, maybe it doesn't make sense. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Okay. We could go with the assignee punishment kind of thing.
Okay. Well, the real question is, if we go for that, you have to come up with a good reason for what you did to get punished. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, I must have gone against the live get capture policy very recently.
Oh, what did you kill?
We must have been
A unicorn?
You hit a chupacabra with your car.
killed a bald eagle.
BJ killed a bald eagle. A bald eagle possessed by something.
Still illegal, man.
I'm gonna say I must have you know, maybe staked a vampire a little when it was on top of me. It was I had the stake ready just in case, but you know, it like in a dramatic, he lunged at me, so I just held it out in front of me, and then he just like landed on it himself.
He landed on it, sir.
Love it. I absolutely love that. I put you were assigned to quote watch Ecto as a punishment for killing a vampiric being out of self-defense.
There you go.
All right, Ecto, you have any on your sheet you want to put for him or?
So my idea is that I kind of work at this organization, but not a lot of people. Well, Emmett and Eli, I wanted to say they know who I am because they're always online and researching all these things, and they knew that in the past I was on the evil side, and they knew who I worked under and all that. So they kind of have an eye on me because they know everything about me with all their conspiracies and such.
Oh, that's interesting. They found you like following like clues about the Dark Lord.
Exactly.
Your Dark Master.
Yeah. So they know all about me, but I don't really know a lot about them.
Like that. In the history section on your sheet, is there one that makes sense for or Eric though?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Him being your minder and all that. Let's see.
Right.
You lost control one time and almost killed them. That's kind of interesting.
Oh God.
Yeah, that or like man, I don't know.
This could be interesting too, Pierce. The one that says, sorry, you go ahead, Markars. Are you gonna say something?
Well, if this is my punishment, maybe he should be a little bit uncontrollable, right? Or
Yeah, I think that dynamic can still exist without necessarily having to take that history, though. That you're just not happy about being minded. I don't think, but it's up to you how your character handles that. Really, I was gonna say you saved them from another of your kind and prevented reprisals against that individual creature.
Yeah, I like that one.
Like, I like the idea that was when you turned good. Like, maybe, Eric, you were the one who found Ecto. Like, you were investigating his case. He was hostile. He's evil, working for this dark master. But then, like, another... I don't know. For some reason, you couldn't watch him die or something. I don't know. That's just an idea. I don't know if you guys like that.
Yeah, no, I do like that.
Like, you had a change of
That
heart.
gives us a good connection, too.
absolutely.
And maybe it wasn't necessarily with him, but somebody that was in the situation with us.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So had a change of heart and saved Eric from another minion of
Dark Master's minion.
Ecto's Dark Master. And the Dark Master doesn't know, right, that you like have switched sides.
No, he's kind of wondering where I'm at.
Yeah, or like you do check-ins and have to lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Cool. That's a great one. All right, so now we got to connect the outside ring of people. So you, Ecto, were saying that like Eli and Emmett probably found you by investigating your master online. I think that one makes sense. If I don't know, unless Eli or unless Thorny or KB, unless you guys have other ideas.
Yeah, definitely either investigating Ecto's master online or me uploading like a real ghost caught on tape, must see, red circle with the arrow pointing to it.
Oh, I love that! Like you caught him on tape
Yeah.
investigating. Where were you? Where were you like
sick.
haunting when they found you, Ecto? I think is an important question.
You know, just local abandoned houses.
Cool. Well, since we're in Normal, Illinois, I'll choose. You were in the Davis Mansion. Actually, there's this like
Yeah, there you
big
go.
historic mansion downtown in a weird like
Yeah.
garden. So
Sure.
you caught a video of Ecto on tape while investigating Davis Mansion, and I'm gonna say that video. This will be your connection to Eric as well. That video is what drew Division 13 to send an investigator. Like, this is why you got stationed in Normal, Illinois for now, Eric.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So, Division 13 higher-ups.
You can go keep an eye on this dude.
Stationed Eric in Normal to investigate Emmett's video of Ecto. Viral video of Ecto.
Real.
What's Emmett's like screen name? What's his handle?
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Does it start with a capital X and a small X underscore?
Oh my. That was
Dark
a personal
truth.
attack. That's definitely the type of person I used to be when I created all
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Don't worry, we've all been there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious.
How about not normal in Illinois? I think
There you go. Not Normal,
that's like the
Illinois.
name of my blog.
No,
Not
or-
normal in
or-
Illinois is the name of my blog.
Abnormal, Illinois.
Abnormal, yeah.
Kind of sounds like a workout blog too.
Here, I'll give you an old gamer tag of mine. There you go.
Abnormal. Yeah, maybe not Normal, Illinois is better. Your choice, of course. Okay, cool. So, caught a video of Ecto on tape. Ecto, for yours with Emmett, maybe that's the one where you nearly killed him, like you attacked. And it could be that's when Eric showed up. How do you guys like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Ecto attacked Emmett when Emmett investigated the mansion and nearly killed him. And
Yeah, I was thinking something along those lines. Perfect.
And then, yeah, it could be like Eric, you had been there investigating it too, as we already established, and that's when you like busted in just in time to save Emmett from Ecto.
Yeah.
And then you guys started working together, kind of thing. So
Yeah, that was the they knew too much, tip of the iceberg. So that's
perfect. Time to save Emmett from Ecto's uncontrollable rampage. Directed by his Dark Master. Cool. So the last person we kind of need to tie in is basically Eli for a couple people. So Eli, you, I guess you accompanied Emmett on this ghost hunt where you found Ecto. Does that make sense? Because you guys were already internet friends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We did establish you had already known Division 13 at this point. Maybe when they showed up that they didn't, like, you hadn't started working with them yet. That was just you kind of learning their existence with the knife, the blessed knife.
Perhaps.
And maybe that's how you helped him get the knife, Emmett. Like, you had to hide it. You, like, pocketed it. Did some, like, sleight of hand kind of thing when Division 13 showed up so they didn't take it from you. And that involved, like, passing it off to Eli to keep in his haven, you know. I do like that. Okay, so, Eli, you investigated Ecto with Emmett, but we need, like, a juicy thing that happened during that adventure. Is there anything on your histories that makes sense?
Was there, like, a third friend that actually did die or something?
That could be.
Yeah, see, because I don't have anything too good for that, so we took our we took a cameraman with us trying to get into the more footage, and the cameraman did die.
What was the cameraman's name?
Yeah.
Tommy. It had to be a Tommy.
He didn't start with an E. That's why he died.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why.
Eli's cameraman contact and friend was killed by, I'm gonna say, the same spirit that you saved Eric from. Like, there was another, let's call that
Like, this whole thing was a huge cluster. This one ghost mission was a huge cluster. Multiple ghosts, multiple deaths. Well, not multiple deaths, but almost multiple deaths.
I'm gonna call this other ghost Berg, like this crazy old, like, muscle bound shaved head dude.
All ghost or ex-athletes.
Was killed by Berg. Another ghost rampaging under the Dark Master's orders. And then I'm kind of going to give you the same one that you have for Eric Ecto for Eli, which is you had to change your heart and saved Eli. I'm going to say Eli and Eric. Or all three. Eli,
That's perfect.
Eric, and Emmett from Berg.
Not Tommy, though.
Nice.
No. Well, I think
Too late for Tommy.
Tommy's killing was like your turning point. Like, you saw how that affected them, maybe, or something.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, like, maybe the video was of Ecto, but they got there, they didn't find Ecto, they found Berg.
Mm-hmm.
Berg goes crazy, kills Tommy. Ecto comes out of the shadows and be like, "No, stop!"
Seeing like an innocent kid die really messed me up.
Cool. So we don't have one between Eric and Eli.
Oh, this one's easy. I'm just gonna reverse one that's on the sheet here because it says you just said, that Eric kind of saved Eli during this whole mess, and there's one here that says they are your student or apprentice. I'm gonna reverse it. Now Eli looks at Eric as his master, and he's the ward, and so he's trying to learn everything he can from Eric.
Ah.
Yo, I love it.
Eli sees Eric as a mysterious tutor and master for sharpening his monster hunting skills. after seeing Eric perform in Davis Mansion. Or fight. I'm going to say fight. How does Eric feel about that? Like, he wanting to stay kind of mysterious. Does he try to not be like the sensei, but ends up falling into it? Like, he's a reluctant sensei kind of thing? Or does he have a soft spot for Thorny for Eli for some reason?
I think maybe he can, see some potential in Eli, and
Yeah.
just bring him along. Maybe a test or two along the way.
Sure.
See.
So one
See how he goes.
thing I like about this game, they have this hunter agenda. This tells you exactly how you should play the game, which is when you're playing your hunter, act like you're the hero in the story. Make your own destiny, find the damn monsters and stop it, and play your hunter like they're a real person. So one thing, I do like the student-master dynamic, but you are still a badass in your own right, Eli. And I think that works too, though. Like, Markars, Eric sees him as useful. Like, he has some powers you don't. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Eli, do you have any, like, weird powers or anything?
I don't think I did. I think, no, my weird's 0.
What's your stats? Is he a good fighter? What's Eli good at besides just knowing a lot about monsters?
He is -1 in charm, 1 in cool, 2 in sharp, 1 in tough, and 0 in weird.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, I almost like feel like it's not on your sheet, but I almost feel like you are like magic sensitive. You don't actually do magic, but maybe you can sense magic sometimes.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, his moves. I've read about this sort of thing, and then precise strike.
Oh, so you're a good fighter too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everything's all about studying and like you said, like sensing the moments and feeling things. Like,
Yeah, we'll talk about extrasensory things more in depth later. I don't want to make a decision on that yet, but cool. Well, there's a relationship map filled out. We can always come back to this to remind ourselves at the beginning of a session. This is cool. I like this like little layout. This came with the Monster of the Week plug in on Roll20.
Yeah, that's great.
So, cool. Well, let's take a quick break, y'all. We'll come back and we'll set up the beginning of the mission and maybe play a little bit. We're probably not going to do a full... These are usually going to be like 3-hour streams, but this one probably won't be quite 3. I don't think today because it's session 0. But let's take a quick break. And we'll be right back. Sound good? See you in 5, everybody.
mm-hmm.
I was like, oh,
Right.
okay.
Oh wow! Holy
I can't
shit, okay.
believe how much. I was like, what am I missing here? Like, I've got to be missing something. And everyone who's watched the full show is like, you're not. You're missing nothing. I'm like, okay.
It's like,
Just side arcs that make no sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Well, like a battle where they'll look at each other's eyes and it holds on each of them for a minute straight. It just like
Oh,
cuts
God.
all that out.
The inner monologuing while the camera's
Yeah.
focused on them, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It cuts all that stuff out. So nothing important, I guess.
I can't abide animes with lots of filler now that I'm older.
Yeah. I like haven't watched really any anime through, so that was one I always wanted to, and I'm finally diving into it. But it's like the longest one.
It's, yeah, seriously. Except for like Case Cold or Detective Conan.
Yeah. But I really like it so far, so
Cool.
I'm not a big
thoroughly
anime
enjoyed
guy, so
Dungeon Meshi.
I'm taking my dive into it.
What's-
It's not my first anime. I've watched others, but it's my first like big one I've gotten into.
Yeah. I watched the first couple episodes of Dungeon Meshi and I liked it. I just have been too busy to follow up with it at all. It was fun. Oh,
That's the one where he like cooks things in dungeons.
yeah.
What?
It has
I haven't heard of that at all.
yeah, Delicious in Dungeon. That's like the
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. I've seen that. Like the little ad on Netflix for it.
it's fun.
It's actually good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun concept. It's got a good setup. Not my favorite thing. I don't see myself getting crazy into it, but all right. Well, we're back, chat. Let's jump into this RPG just a little bit. Oh, Markars is agencying up. He's going full agency. Hey, Rose, and hey, Canadian Summer. Welcome, my friends.
Oh, hey.
Good to have you in the chat. We're playing a little monster of the week, like an X-Files monster hunting inspired RPG. Let's talk real quick before we jump in the game. There's one thing we kind of didn't cover, which was your lair, or is it called a haven, Eli?
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of options did it let you choose, and what did you choose?
So it gives you the ability to either have like lore library, mystical library, protection spells, armory, infantry. There was a workshop one, but it's not popping up on the page. Oubliette? I don't.
Oubliette, yeah.
Yeah. Panic room or magical laboratory, and you get to pick 3. So I took a lore library, which I just assume is Eli's iPad and PC all set up on the desk, and he's just like reading, modern day through Reddit and stuff.
Nice.
And then, sorry, go ahead.
It doesn't actually say like what kind of structure or building it is, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Awesome. Because we've already established that Ecto haunts the Davis Mansion in Normal, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at
Oh yeah.
the map.
Davis Mansion.
The map. So I built this little map for you all of just...
Wonderful.
We don't need to know all the details of Bloomington Normal. We just need to know the key areas. Now, one thing to know about Normal, Illinois, because none of us are actually from there. A lot of us are from Illinois, or some of us are.
Marcos has been here now, so he knows what it looks like.
Yeah.
I know what an Illinois town looks like now.
Yeah.
And honestly, Pierce doesn't live super far away from Bloomington Normal. He's the closest one for sure. It's not just Normal. We call it Normal, Illinois, but for a cool title, it's actually called Bloomington Normal. Some people even call it BN. We have a lot of college towns like that in Illinois. Where like
it's a real place. No way. I actually thought it was
Normal
named that just for the ironic title of a campaign about weird stuff.
No, it's
No.
just a really cool name. That
Yeah.
worked out.
Okay. Perfect. Wow.
it is.
It's like 2.5 hours from me.
That
Maybe
sounds-
an hour and a half.
That sounds right. Yeah, it's like 3.5 or 4 from me in Southern Illinois, but it's where Illinois State University is. It's a really small town with a nice but fairly small college.
Yes.
Is how I would describe it. And it isn't like in the middle of cornfields, in the middle of Illinois. It is 2 towns that grew together. It's Bloomington and Normal. We're mostly going to stick to Normal because that's where the college is in the north side of town, as you can see here. But your base is actually in Bloomington, Illinois, at the Davis Mansion, because Ecto haunts the Davis Mansion. It's a museum now. You went in to investigate, had your run-in with Ecto. He turned to the good side, and you ended up finding a secret area in the basement past like a hidden brick wall that none of the museum staff even know about. And it even has a little back entrance out through the park, because it's set the mansion is in this huge park. Actually, I can show you guys a picture of it. It's a real place as well. And it's gorgeous and creepy as fuck.
I love historic mansions that get turned into museums.
Super
There's a
cool.
couple of those
Cool.
in East Texas.
Yeah, there's one in my
and
hometown
I still like them.
that's really small. Let's see, can I post this in chat for you all?
I heard it.
Oh man, it looks like the Munsters house.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Dude, some Addams Family shit right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. I'm gonna actually make the picture. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. That's so cool.
1 second. Mansion. Man, Windows wants to automatically save shit in my OneDrive. I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't want to use OneDrive.
I hate that so much.
I use Dropbox, so every time it asks me to put it on OneDrive, it's extra frustrating.
I'm a Google Drive boy.
Yep.
Yep, same.
Oh
respect
man, I'm
that.
filling that up quick.
So,
Yeah.
so here's the crazy thing. That's what the mansion looked like a long time ago. Let me show you what it looks like now. 1 second.
Oh boy.
Now it looks like a Starbucks.
Yeah. Modernized. Minimalist building. It's just
They
all
remodeled
white and
it.
blocky.
Yeah, I was gonna say they remodeled it to be like a square building.
Yeah.
It's got a 2-car garage.
Okay, it doesn't
It
look.
looks about the same.
It's exactly the fucking same. It's crazy how
Wow.
the same it
Yeah.
is.
Wow, it even has the vines still.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
it's wild.
Impressive.
Just trimmed it up a bit, moved some vines to another area.
Yeah.
They got it refurbished and revined.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the original vines still in the house. So that's the Davis Mansion. And it isn't like this huge park. Like I said, there's really nothing kind of around it for like 2 blocks. And you have a little secret exit through a like ladder in the park that comes out of a fairly large manhole.
Okay.
But at night when no one's there, you all just use the front door. But sometimes there's museum staff there during the day. So this is your haven, the basement, the secret hidden basement of the Davis Mansion.
Nice.
I love it.
And it is right downtown here in the historical district, which is cool.
Pretty central. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you choose? Sorry, for your haven options one more time.
So you get to pick 3. I chose lore library, armory, and infirmary.
Nice. Those are all really good choices. Well, I think with that, we can kick off the first session. Let me just see. A couple things. The last thing before we kick it off, it tells me to re-explain how things work with the game, just briefly, and this is a good idea. First, let's talk about basic moves and how to roll them. The basic moves. We did go over this briefly. I'll ask you to roll these. They all roll the same way. There's a button on your sheet, first of all, to let you roll them. You guys can try it out if you want to make a test roll real fast.
Let's see.
So you can just roll your stat, or I don't know if you can roll the moves directly, but let's say you act under pressure. I'll say roll cool or plus cool. And next to the cool stat, there should be a button that lets you roll cool.
There's 2 dice here. I'm just trying to figure out which one you would press.
Let me look.
Some of the moves you can roll. I think if a move is rollable, it will let you roll it, like Net Friends.
Oh, I
Okay.
love that it's the little.
They have, like,
The
little art,
illustrations
yeah.
are awesome.
the little posters.
Yeah, the dice rolls are amazing. Pierce, I think that's just one button.
Is it? Okay, it just looks like.
Yeah, it's
oh,
one
it
button.
definitely is. Okay.
It looks like 2 for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, 2 dice. It's a 6 and a 1.
Oh, it's a 6 and a
It is
1.
one button, yeah.
Oh, okay. And then the colors are inverted. Okay.
Right, and so when you roll, what you're seeing is just a number come out with this cool card, but it's actually rolling 2d6s, so just 2 normal dice. And it's adding whatever stat, so in this case, cool. So plus like 2 for Eli on that last one. And Eli rolled a crit. He rolled 12 plus 2 is 14. And so the way those rolls actually work is on a 6 or below, you fail, just straight up. But you get to mark an experience point on your sheet when you fail, because you learn through failure.
Oh.
And it reminds you, too. Like, if you look at your last roll there, Pierce.
Mhm.
And if you get full...
Sure to mark experience. Yeah.
Yeah. If you get full experience in the middle of a game, because I think it's only 5, let me know. Because in the middle of the game, you can level up. It's not like a wait till the end of the session with this game, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
Because you want to clear your experience out to keep gaining more. So 6 below is a failure. 7 through a 9 is a mixed success. You succeed on what you were trying to do, but it's a little bit of a worse outcome, or there's a hard choice or price to pay for the success. And then anything 10 or higher is a full success. You fully succeed at what you're setting out to do without any drawbacks or prices to pay. So that's how it works. 6 below is a fail, 7 through 9 is a mixed success, and a 10 plus is a success. And that's like for every move. So that's really easy to read. And it tells you too. It tells you advanced success or mixed success, which I love that about this character sheet. So that's the biggest thing. That's how we're going to play 90% of the game. The one other really important mechanic we have not talked about is something called luck, which is like your best friend. Because you're going to fail in tight situations, right? So luck, every hunter has a certain amount of luck that they can call on in emergencies. Your playbook has a luck counter that keeps track of how much is left. You can choose to mark off one of your luck points in return for a lucky break. Specifically, when you spin a point of luck, you can choose one of the following. Decrease a wound you just suffered down to 0 harm, or after a roll, retroactively change the result to a 12. So you can get an auto full success, or you can automatically like slough off one grievous wound, which the wound thing in particular will save your ass. However, when you mark, because you mark one of those luck boxes every time, you guys see the luck on your sheet, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
How many are there? 5?
7?
7, yeah.
7, yeah.
Okay.
3, 4, yeah.
So when you've marked off all of your
Bring
luck,
it back.
yeah, you can recharge it by resting and stuff. So when you've marked off all your luck, the keeper, I think you get a couple back every session, but maybe not all. When you mark them off, tell me immediately. Same thing with the XP. Don't wait till the end of the session. I'm allowed to hit you with more bad stuff when you run out of luck. Fate will be looking for some sort of payback. If your playbook includes fate-related stuff, I don't think anybody's does. Running out of luck means all the bad stuff is going to start happening. So keep that in mind. It comes at a price.
Flake does have a special luck condition. When Flake spends a luck, they can pick an aspect of the current situation, and the keeper will tell you what other conspiracies that aspect is connected to. If that aspect wasn't part of another conspiracy, it is now.
Interesting. That's fun. I like that.
I do have a luck related effect as well. Whenever I spend luck, the next mission from the agency comes with lots of red tape. Lots. They emphasize lots twice.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. Cool. So that's luck. We talked about when to mark experience when you fail a roll. There might be some other situations where you mark experience. But at the end of each session, we go through a little checklist. And for each thing you did on the checklist, you get additional experience on top of your failed rolls. So, all right. I think that's it. Everybody have a good idea? Oh, the last thing I wanted to show you was this thing called the Hunter Agenda, which isn't something you need to like look at for the rules. Oh, I did show you the Hunter Agenda.
Yeah, you showed it to us.
That's right. Cool. Then we're ready, guys. Let's just start the mystery briefly. So, hold on. Let me open a few things. So we do what's called a teaser in Monster of the Week. I'm going to tell you about a scene where none of your characters are. If you can, imagine a camera swooping down, aerial camera over a dark college campus at night, and down to one building in specific. It is the engineering building. We enter the doors. It's empty. It's dark. It's nighttime. No one's here except for a security guard sitting behind an information desk. He's like a pretty nice looking young dude. He's got his feet kicked up and his phone in his hand, and he's playing some sort of game behind the desk. And somewhere deeper in the building, like behind him, we hear a clatter. And he like jumps up scared, looks behind him and says, "Hello? Is someone there?" And he like fumbles with like a taser gun that he has on his belt and pulls it out. He gets up really scared. He sets his phone down. He turns and like kind of starts looking around, walking very slowly deeper back into the foyer of the engineering building. It's got this big, beautiful atrium inside. And he says again, hello? And then he hears a crash by the door. And the glass by the door just like shatters, like a loud shattering. He turns around to see just glass spraying everywhere and settling on the floor. And now he's really spooked. He like starts yelling like, you better come out! I'm fucking armed! And he holds up his little gun. And he's like, look, man, I'm just a student worker. I'm not trying to get in any trouble. And he like kind of approaches the door, but there's no one there. And that's when he hears above him quietly, because this is an atrium. Like I said, it's like a glass ceiling. It's got like crazy beams and bars above him, big open, techie kind of building. He hears like a ting ting of metal above him and looks up to see glowing eyes in the beams and rafters. He hears in unison multiple voices going, ooh, 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 ooh. And then splat, we just see a blood spray across the window. And the security guard, we see his body being dragged deeper into the darkness of the building by a metallic-looking bionic arm, leaving a blood streak across the floor.
Monkey robots.
So we smash cut to you, our hunters. You're hanging out in your haven in the basement of Davis Mansion. It's nighttime, and you get a call on your phone, Eric. It's the voice that you always hear when you get a call on your phone. Your boss, you don't even know his name. You just call him the Fixer, or Mr. Fix.
Mr. Fix-It.
Fix.
So your phone rings, Mr. Fix is there. You pick up. You don't even say anything. You just hear a voice on your phone. And it just says, check the mail. And then click. You go upstairs through the mansion, and in the, stuffed in the mail slot of the ancient door in the foyer of the mansion is, a giant manila envelope. And you all stand around a table and open it, and it's a new case for you to work on. You've already heard some of the things that are in this case file, but it shows a spat of unusual burglaries have been taking place at the university, Illinois State. And now, those burglaries have culminated in a murder just last night. What makes the burglaries unusual, the case file points out, is they've been targeted to mostly engineering and electronics and computer science workshops on campus. There were also some artifacts stolen from the anthropology department. In all of these raids, security camera footage has been scrubbed or tampered with. No alarms were set off at any point. Yesterday, a security guard, they show you a picture of a young, handsome-looking man, a student named Chris Lamb, was torn to pieces literally during another theft in the engineering building. The file says they want you to investigate. They think there's something more going on. Now, they do tell you a couple names you can go research, or people you can follow up with at the university. I think at this point you guys are already in the whip, heading there at nighttime as a crew.
Okay.
Let's go.
And you're
Let's roll.
you're still getting this information, it's populating on your screen. Let's see. It gives you a couple quick names. Well, obviously the engineering and anthropology departments at the university are a big one.
Mm-hmm.
There is the dean of the medical school, Dr. Crouch, excuse me. They suggest him, although he won't be there now. And you can also connect with the sheriff, which is... he has a name. Claire Gonzalez. So you can always meet up with the local police chief. Chief Gonzalez.
Okay.
But for now, you're just heading to the university, to the site, because that's the information you have. They even sent you like a map of the university and show you exactly where to investigate this, where the murder happened. And they also have pointed out all of the burglaries for you as well.
Mm.
So I think this should work for you guys. I'm not certain. You should be able to hover over the numbers on the map. Like I pointed out some of the general areas of the university, like
Oh yeah.
School of Liberal Arts, School of Medicine, but each one should have a tooltip, and the numbers are the order in which the murders happened.
Ooh.
Okay.
So all of this pops up in the car as you're driving there. It says the first robbery was the medical school labs, 18 living monkeys and 3 chimpanzees. This was initially assumed to be the Animal Freedom Militia, a local activist group on campus. But there's still no hard connection with this particular burglary and the rest. The others, however, seem pretty connected. 2 was the electronics workshop in the engineering school. It was a storeroom, various components stolen. No doors were unlocked or broken. Access likely via a ventilation grate. Then they stole from a robotics lab, several works in progress, and some stolen parts. Then the anthropology library, books on the pagan and occult. Then another electronics lab, this time in the computer science department, where various parts, including programmable control chips, were stolen. And the final one was the medical school prosthetics and bionics research lab, where experimental prosthetics were stolen. Now, the one that happened last night is the 7th case, and it is actually back at number 3.
Number 3.
The robotics lab, which is this crazy looking building. It's like this big circular architectural thing, also in kind of a big cool quad. You guys pull up at night, of course you have to park and walk on campus. It's pretty quiet. It's kind of foggy out, and beyond the campus is just like woods and cornfields, which is kind of interesting. It makes you feel like you're in a weird liminal space. You pass a student here or there walking under, one of the street lamps on campus, but it's mostly quiet and empty. And pretty soon you're standing in front of this big building, the School of Engineering. They have the front door like sealed up with a giant piece of plywood and a bunch of caution tape. But there's no one else around. So I now turn to you, hunters. What do you do?
Oh boy.
I would like to start the mystery. I steeple my hands and I stare straight forward at the building, and I attempt to connect the dots at the beginning of the mystery, see what lights are flicking on in my brain. So I'll make a connect the dots roll.
Love it. Yeah, so if you have a start of mystery move, now is the time.
I got a 9. So I get 1 hold.
Okay, and how does that work? You can spend it on something later?
Yeah, I can spend my hold 1 for 1 during the mystery to ask the keeper any one of a number of following questions
Copy.
pertaining to the mystery.
Sweet, and you just get to hold on to that till you're ready to use it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Love that. Anybody else have a start of mystery move here?
I want to say that I so I have the ability to fly. So it's gonna fly up above and kind of get an aerial view to make sure there's nothing surrounding the building or anything awaiting us that we do not want around.
Oh, I love that. So yeah, you all see. Do you say anything to the others as you fly away, or do you just like kind of silently glide?
I just kind of do it.
Yeah.
I just start floating off.
So you see Ecto just glide off into the night and disappear in the darkness somewhere above the building. Ecto, let's have you make a read a bad situation move. So for read a bad situation, you roll your sharp.
Okay. And then I'll add anything for the forward.
No, not yet. Yeah, you can. Most times it'll just be 0 on that. A 7 is a mixed success. So on a 7 through 9, you hold 1. So here's this handout. You can use your hold to ask me one of the following questions. What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? And what's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims? If you act on the answers, you get a +1 ongoing while the information is relevant. So
Okay.
one thing here, you are asking me, you the player are asking me this question, and then we'll decide how in the fiction your character notices this thing, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you can spend 1 on one of those questions. So you fly above the building. It is a little misty, but you can see at night pretty well. It's well lit around here. You get a very good layout of the building. What question do you ask as your character surveys the building?
I think, what's my best way out?
Interesting. Yeah, that's a great question. On the roof, of course, there's a complex AC system. It's huge units and ducts out on top of the building. One of them is like roped off with like orange flags and cones. It looks like they're working on one of like the 3 AC units in the building. One of the vents is even pulled off and it's just like open. You personally being able to fly could easily just fly out of that vent if things got hairy.
Right.
Everyone else, not so much luck.
Okay. Good to know.
What is the rest of you doing? What are the rest of you doing? Well, he flies above the building. You're just standing on the sidewalk in front of this big ornate building and the busted door with plywood.
So
Go ahead.
the building is blocked off plywood. Do not enter tape. Do I see anybody like lurking around, like near the building, beside the building? I want to sort of like walk the perimeter and see if there's any sketchy people hanging around.
You pretty. I'm not even gonna make you roll. You pretty quickly notice there is a security camera outside the front door that's like temporarily been slapped up above the door. The actual like building itself seems kind of devoid of people, but however, in like the quad, the big grass field the building sits in, there is like a pavilion. You can see it on the map actually right here.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 not so savory looking students, like black trench coat kind of students hanging out over there smoking cigarettes, and they are watching you for sure.
Hell yeah.
Okay. I mention to the rest of my group. I say, I think those guys over there at the like bungalow or whatever, they're like looking at us like really hard. I think I'm gonna go talk to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna join in and approach the lads as well.
All right, Eric, what's your look again? You're not dressed in like a black suit, like you're not that Men in Black, are you? Or
No, I totally went for the full trope. So yeah, I'm full tailored suit.
gotcha.
old man
CIA
tailored suit.
agent.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll approach first, I think.
Okay.
And start talking to him.
One of them is.
Evening, gentlemen.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, one of them's a little smaller and like.
Oh yeah, what they look like. Yeah.
Meeker, and he's hanging out behind the main guy who's wearing the black trench coat. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" He takes like a long drag off his cigarette.
Nice. Like, evening, boys. I'm wondering if you've seen anything unusual happen around this evening.
Not yet, but like we're hoping to. What are you supposed to be anyway? You're like some FBI guy or SWAT team gonna show up? He like looks around and puts his hands up and takes another drag off his cigarette. You notice his friend like sips out of a little like flask of schnapps that he's like keeping in his coat.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, drinking on campus, are we? Oh, okay. Well, anything in particular you guys are don't worry about who I am. Is there anything in particular you guys are waiting for?
He said, "Don't you know that Chris dude, the ag kid, he got killed in there."
Oh, did you see him get killed? Did you kill him?
He takes like a long drag off his cigarette. He's like, "Psh, not a chance. I think he's a serial killer." David says something worse, like, I don't know, werewolf. Right, David? The kid just like nods and takes another sip out of the flask. And he's like, yeah, anyway, fucking serial killer, dude.
Have there been any other killings on campus?
I mean, everyone's talking about these burglaries or whatever, but shit gets stolen all the time, man. But no, Chris, yeah. They said he got torn apart. I don't think that's ever happened. Anyway, we're just going to keep hanging around, Mr. Suit. And if there is a serial killer, I'm going to get the bro's autograph or some kind of keepsake. It's going to be fucking sweet. David's like, yeah. You know, for my YouTube show.
What's your YouTube show called?
It's called Murder Curio. Yeah, I got some of Gacy's yarn dolls. They're pretty fucking cool. He like takes another long drag off his cigarette.
One of my features as a flake, one of my moves is I know if somebody's lying to me. Does he actually have Gacy's yarn dolls?
What's that move called? You don't have to roll for it.
I can put it up here. The move is called Suspicious Mind. If someone lies to you, you know it.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, he's definitely lying. He's fronting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Well, don't get murdered or like torn apart or anything, because that would probably be bad. For like the school as like in general.
Yeah. Yeah, no duh. He's like, who are you guys again? He's like, you mind if I film you? And he like pulls out a little GoPro on like a little selfie stick from his trench coat.
Yeah.
I'll just wave the stick aside, like kind of like push it down with my arm a little bit. Like, hey, so how well do you know the campus here? Are there any other entrances to the lab behind us here?
Well, I'm a junior. He like takes a hard drag of a cigarette. He's like, but I'm a fucking art major, dude. I never go in the engineering building like ever.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I don't know. There's like, people always talk about the steam tunnels. I don't think it's true though. Right, David? David's like, nods. Takes another swig of his schnapps. David's like mousy. He's like the mousiest little dude you've ever seen.
Yeah. Have I ever heard of the steam tunnels?
That's a great question. You have heard rumors, yes. I think that you maybe also know that steam tunnels are common on campuses, under campuses,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. But you also, you've only heard rumors. You just assume that they're just students who stumbled upon them in the past.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, I'm actually gonna poke my head around the big guy and look over at David and say, "Hey, do you know anything about what happened here tonight?" See if he responds or anything.
He just like cackles and then he nods his head. The other guy goes, David don't talk much, dude.
While they've all been gone, I think Eli's been standing in front of the lab or the robotics lab the entire time, like scrolling through everything he can on the case files to see if there's anything he could recognize to give him a hint of like what could have done this or what they could be looking for.
Well, you did notice the thing about them
No, go ahead, Charlie.
entering through the grate is what I was going to say. What were you going to say, Pierce? What is Ecto doing?
I was just gonna say after I realized that really the only way out would be something for me besides the front door or anything like that, as I kind of swoop back down as as Eli's scrolling through his thing, and I'm like, "What are you looking at?"
I'm just studying the case files to see if we missed anything reading through this. I think that there could have been, I don't know. Like coroners aren't always the best at reading at monster attacks because they don't. It's not in their world, you know. But for us, it is. It's in our world.
So
You don't ever seem to get off those newfangled things.
You and your damn devices.
why don't you roll to investigate a mystery for me, Eli?
What do I need to click on for that? Is that going to be?
Investigate a mystery is, I believe it's sharp. Boom.
All right. Let's see here. Roll sharp. Yep. Whoop. Boom. That's a 9.
Nice. Okay, one thing I want to look at is I want to look at the moves on your sheet. They updated Investigate a Mystery. There's 2 options for it. I kind of like the original one, at least in this case, though. So you rolled a 9, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a hold of 1. You can use it to ask a question of me. Again, this is you asking, the player asking me, the GM, and then we'll come up with how your character knows this, fictionally speaking. So 1 hold can be spent to ask the keeper one of the following questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What is it going to do? What is being concealed here?
Ooh. I'd like to ask, what is being concealed here?
Nice. So you can tell me how you do this. Maybe it's like a bit of hacking into these. You have these like printed case files they sent you, but like maybe you get into like the local police database kind of thing.
Mm. Yeah, I say I think he's got the iPad out or the tablet, and he's like doing the best he can with what he's got, and he's like, okay, let's see.
I like the idea that you plug like a weird little antenna into your iPad of some sort. Yeah, I like
Definitely got some insane Raspberry Pi rigs going on.
yeah.
It's got like the antenna from an RC car controller back from like the 90s
Yes,
sticking out of it.
you have to telescope it out. Yeah, I love that.
Starts pointing it at different buildings to see if you can get a better signal.
So you're able to open a coroner's report, and while the public-facing police, their public, what's the word I'm looking for, press release, stated that the body was mutilated, this report shows a lot more than that. It shows animal bites on the body and like actual missing flesh, not just bites, but like partially eaten. The bite marks were examined, and they are human or ape teeth based on the bite marks.
My.
Oh.
Ecto, look at this. That doesn't look like anything. I don't. That's insane. It looks like people or maybe animals are attacking these things.
Ecto,
Does look interesting.
Ecto, you do know that. I mean, all of you know technically, but you saw in the case report that they had stolen a bunch of monkeys from the medical labs and chimpanzees. Do you mention that at all?
What do I mention it at all? You say?
Yeah, like in response, or does anyone bring that up?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like well, it would coincide with what's been happening around the area, but I don't know. I don't know if we can hop straight into that. I don't want to jump to conclusions.
Yeah, the others, you're still over there talking to these two. Is there anything else you want to say to them?
I think I realized that these guys like are just chilling, like don't actually know what's going on, like they're just a couple of idiots. So I literally just leave without saying anything.
Okay. The one guy's like, "See you, bro. I'm Kent, by the way."
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Kent. Have a great evening, gentlemen.
Sure thing, man. Tell Joe Biden hi. They just keep smoking and drinking as you guys reconvene on the sidewalk out in front of the building.
I think I'm gonna at this point maybe I'll pull out some sort of device that I have and maybe see if the agency's giving me access to like blueprints of the campus or the building.
Oh, that's interesting. Don't you have like some gear that kind of coincides with that? I don't remember what gear options you chose again.
Well, there's like weird gadgets that I have, right? In terms of gear, it was just like weapons, armor.
I see.
There's no like utility stuff.
That's the gadget. That's what I was thinking. Weird tech gadgets. That's right. Copy.
Mhm.
I think it would be cool if you had like a scanner almost of some sort. Like
Okay.
you pull out like a little silver orb, like a bit bigger than a ball bearing. You like twist it, it clicks and goes boop, boop, and you just hold your hand out and it like whoop, 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 like floats up above your hand and then just zooms off and like circles the building. It's gonna take a few minutes to scan the whole building, but
Oh man. Okay.
it's
yeah,
like
guys, that'll come back around. I promise. Just give it a few.
it's like
Man, that thing's so neat. Every time you do this,
you see the scan like populating on your your watch or whatever it is. Well, you decide. What are you looking at that like it's populating a blueprint on?
Well, it's gonna be a watch, but it's also gonna like project a hologram.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
starts rotating around.
Of
you know,
course.
as it populates the scan. You know.
Mhm.
Of course.
While this happening, I can't stop thinking about those steam tunnels. I want to see if I can get in touch with one of my internet friends and see like maybe a TA or like somebody I know who works on campus and see if they know about any of the entrances to the steam tunnels because I feel like that could be useful and knowing where the steam tunnels go, where they are. 'Cause I feel like that's I
Yeah.
feel like I would definitely be interested in that.
That's like your net friends move thing, right?
Yeah, my internet friends.
Does it say you have to roll for that?
I do. I
Okay.
have to roll a charm.
All right, you make a post.
Yeah. Steam tunnels. Truth. Truth question mark.
Posting on deep Reddit. Oh, that's a failure. Let's
The steam
see.
tunnels are fake, idiot.
Well, you don't get an answer immediately, but over like the next 6 hours, it's going to turn into a flame war between you and someone else.
Oh no.
But you get a mark experience.
Okay.
So for now, you just think you're waiting. You're like, oh well, I guess I'll wait. So you've been standing outside this building for quite a long time. You see two security guards drive past, like kind of far away, on a golf cart. One of them notices you, and they take like a wide circle on their golf cart and start pulling back around towards you guys.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I'm wondering what kind of badge I would have if I do have one. Like just in case they ask. Like
Yeah,
have like an
yeah.
official.
I don't see why not. Yeah, like you can tell me exactly what it says. Is it an FBI badge? Is it like a? You could even have like a local police investigator badge if you wanted. It's totally your.
Right, because it did take the. Is it the
I want to say
official
because
poll?
we're all back
Yeah.
together, grouped together in front of the building now, right?
That's how I imagine it. Yeah, you've come back together, group, and now these security guards are driving over towards you in their cart. But you have a minute to
Hold
do
on.
something before they arrive.
Yeah, I just want to say to Eric, I want to be like, maybe they're coming for those kids over there. What are they doing? Smoking jazz cigarettes?
Jazz cigarettes. Well, one of them was drinking, but they seem to be just a couple of weirdos. They don't. I don't think they know what they're doing.
They say the
in the
security guard.
daytime, what a degenerate.
Oh, it's nighttime. Sorry.
Oh,
I should have explained that more clearly. But as they see the security guard pulling up, they like turn and are like walking away, heads down, like hiding cigarettes and flasks in their overcoats, acting like they don't have them, like walking separate directions, just kind of meandering, trying to look natural, But the security guards seem to be coming towards you guys, not them anyway. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that they think that we're trying to like break in or something. I think I would like to be inside of the building, get some eyes off of us, but I don't know what the best way to go about that would be.
That's what I was hoping the scan would tell us. Actually, I was wondering, could I also make the scan like pinpoint any like live signatures inside the building? You think?
You could roll for read a bad situation,
All right.
which
pull that out.
is sharp.
Sure.
Sure.
What do we got?
7 is a mixed success. You get 1 hold. You can ask again one of the questions: what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Any dangers we haven't noticed? I suppose that's what you're asking. Dangers you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
So right now you do see 1 living energy signature in the building, in the foyer at the help desk. Your scan is complete, by the way. Your little friend is returned. It like goes beep beep, and then it just flies directly into your pocket.
That's so cool. Okay, so I kind of agree. Like you could avoid dealing with the security guards directly.
It's getting to be
It's fine.
too late. You guys need to act now. They're closing in.
So they're closing in. Okay, so I'll greet them then.
Okay. Yeah, one of them pulls up. Kind of like an older, chubby dude. He does have an actual pistol. This is not a student worker, you can tell, but the other one looks like a student worker. It's like a pretty young-looking gal with like red hair and freckles. She just sits quietly in the driver's seat. She's driving the cart. He's kind of a bigger, fatter dude. He's in like the passenger seat. They pull up and he goes, "Hey, what are you guys doing around here? This is an active crime scene, you know. You don't look like students." IDs.
Oh,
That's it. Over here. IDs now. IDs. He starts waving you over.
Maybe you should worry about these rapscallions smoking and drinking.
He's like, "Who? Kent and David?" Well, you can only bust them so many times. Yep, only so many times you can get in trouble for drinking peppermint schnapps. You know what I mean?
Have you guys seen a dog around here? Like a Dalmatian, like a puppy?
He just looks confused. He's like, "I don't think I've seen any dogs. Not tonight." Now, where are them IDs, boys? Come on over here. Gather around the golf cart now. He like does.
I lost my dog today, and I was trying to follow like the leads I've been given. They said that they saw him on campus. I'd really appreciate if you could help us find my dog.
He just looks at you like incredulously, and holds the look for a long time, and just pulls out a vape while he does it. Takes a long pull and thinks about it. Roll a manipulate roll, which is
His name is Bongo.
charm.
Oh, nice.
That's all you had to say. He's manipulated now.
Yeah, Bongo.
Cool name.
Manipulate charm. Okay.
On an 8, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. He's like, "Look, you give me an ID, I will drive around for the rest of the night until I find that sweet little puppy. Because nothing melts my heart more than a dog. But you good gentlemen are lingering outside of a crime scene. You understand? I'll even get you on the cart. You want a tour? We'll go look for him together."
So I don't have an ID because I'm not a student, but
Well, all right. He like pulls a little notebook out of his cop shirt pocket and flips it open. He's like, "First name."
even
Steven.
It's Steven. All right. And he takes down your information. You feed him a fake name, I'm assuming.
yeah.
He's like, "The rest of you?" He's like, "What about your well-dressed friend there?"
I'm just taking my son out here. We're looking for the dog together. You know, it's a family dog.
He like pulls.
All look as a family.
He pulls down his glasses and just looks at you over him. And he's like, "All right, name." Do you give him a fake name?
Yeah, it's gonna be Jerry.
So he does this with everyone,
Yeah.
by the way. He's like, all right, I'm gonna put in a report about the dog now, so there'll be a ticket open. And what's the number we can contact you if we find the sweet little pooch?
I give him the number to one of my various burner phones.
Okay. So he holds you guys up for quite a long time, but he seems fairly satisfied with that. However, he is very familiar with you now, and he's gonna continue to call you by your fake names when he sees you guys.
Mm-hmm. Continue to look for my dog that doesn't exist.
Yeah. He's like, you want to hop on the back and go look for him?
I think it'd be better if we split up to cover more ground. I appreciate you helping, though.
That's actually what you were just interrupted. We were talking about which paths we should all go to.
He's like, all right, well, we'll keep looking. We'll give you a text if we see something now. My name is Jerry. And he's like,
And also Jerry.
he like leans back in the golf cart and he looks at this like 19-year-old student who's his student worker security guard, and he goes, "Hi ho, Melissa!" And she like hits the gas on the golf cart, and they very unimpressively, very slowly pull away from you.
I'll just shout out to them. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
All right, so what are you gonna do to get in the building?
Ooh.
Oh, I'll pull up the hologram and see if there's like a back entrance. We haven't seen.
There is like a fire escape entrance in the back, but you're assuming that's going to be locked from the outside.
Mhm.
And then, of course, the vent on the roof. There is also, aside from the vent, like if you see it's a circular building, there's like an internal atrium or courtyard in the middle of the circle that from the roof you could rappel down into and maybe find a way in. I mean, you can try the front door. The board on the front door doesn't look like it would be too hard to pull off either.
So there's a signature near the front. You're saying
That's true. That is true.
near the front.
Mm-hmm.
You can always just try knocking and see who comes answering.
That's true.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
Fine with
worst that
that.
can happen?
All right.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with courteousness.
I mean, you got that official poll anyway, Eric, if anything is to,
Yeah, we'll go give the plywood a couple good
There's
plonks.
there's still like one good glass door, and like you knock on the plywood and you kind of lean to the side to like see through the glass inside. You pull on the handle, it is locked. But the desk, like the security desk is lit. Like it's really dark. The only light is at the security check desk or whatever in the foyer. But it's empty. There's no one there. You do see caution tape and evidence exhibits all around in there too. You look at your like energy signature thing. You don't have an active reading. You just have where it was when the thing was in there. It shows you whoever is in here was right here. It was like right at the security check desk, and now they're not there.
Okay, so they're not there. All right. Well, let's just make our way in, and I guess through the wood. I think.
All right, yeah, it doesn't take long. You can kind of pry the plywood off. You hold it back in the bottom corner so everyone can crawl inside. And when you get in there, it's eerily quiet. A little spooky. You walk into this big open atrium, glass ceiling. No sign of a security guard or anything. What do you do?
I pull out my flashlight. Whooshing.
I guess I can start looking around and see if we can find any trace of clues or something.
Yeah, well, there's still a huge blood stain on the floor for sure. There's a computer behind the security desk. You notice it's turned on.
I'd like to say that I kind of like flow over to the computer and sit down at it.
I love the idea of a ghost using a computer more than anything I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you float behind the security desk in the darkened atrium of this building, and you start clacking away in the computer.
Kinda like finger typing because I'm just like, I like only kind of understand technology.
15 words per minute.
He
Yeah.
barely understands how to use a typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ecto, you're typing, ghost in baseball uniform sitting behind the computer, typing one finger at a time, and you notice something like drip onto the keyboard. And then you like look at the desk, there's a bigger puddle of something next to you. It's definitely blood, and you do what you just did. You look up, and you see like probably 4 or 5 monkeys, not apes, but like little rhesus helper monkey type monkeys. And they're all just like doing that thing the monkeys do where they show you their sharp little teeth, and their faces are all like bloody, and they have what looks to be a piece of the security guard up there. They have his arm. When it sees you, it just does like a monkey scream, like an angry like "Ah!" And then they like disappear, run off into the rafters deeper into the building somewhere, with the arm going ping, 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 ping as it hits each rafter. They like
slapping against the rafters as they run.
yeah, on the like the beams of the ceiling as they climb through it.
Oh, heavens to Betsy.
You all see this, of course, and I think that's where we'll probably end the session for today.
Oh, incredible.
I hate
All
this.
right. All right.
This is so creepy. I hate monkeys.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We didn't talk
I
about
love it.
we didn't talk about safety tools. We should definitely talk about that next time. We usually have like an X card if things are to some, you never know what triggers
No,
people.
it's fine. I'm not like viscerally upset. I'm just like monkeys are they're very violent animals.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. The Lord of the
Especially chimps.
those I almost said Lord of the Rings. Those Wizard of Oz monkeys.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah.
Traumatized kids.
Absolutely.
Real quick, thanks again to everyone in chat who is tuning in. We have 16 people. A couple people threw some follows there while we were playing. We appreciate it. We are going to be playing this game. I don't have I tried to set my schedule image up. It did not work. We're going to be playing this every Saturday at noon for the next few Saturdays. We're taking a break on
25th, was it? The 25th. Yeah, it was a break week.
Yeah. So there'll be a week off. And next week we will be on Purce's stream. So before we do our session wrap up, let's just do a real quick shout out moment. I don't have a shout out command set up on my bot, but I need to. But most of you are probably here because you know Purce and Markars already. But if you don't, go follow them. They're both Twitch streamers. Purce usually streams Fridays, and he has a speed running event coming up. Markars usually streams Sundays. Is that right, Markars? Saturdays.
Sundays, the big day. Yeah.
So if you don't know them and you have not, go follow them. We will be on Pierce's stream next time, and Markars stream, I believe, the time after that. So you have to follow them if you want to keep following this campaign, by the way. But
Yes.
all right, let's wrap up our session really quick. Let's see. End of session experience questions. I believe there's this for you guys. Do I have a handout for me about that? End of the session, yeah. Okay. To be continued. Then we ask, did we conclude the current mystery? No.
No,
Far
we've
from it.
discovered it.
Did we save someone from certain death or worse? Not yet.
I'm afraid not.
Did we
Didn't
learn?
save that security guard.
No, no. Did you learn something new and important about this world?
Yeah. It's got some crazy
really?
stuff going on.
We learned about the steam tunnels
Yeah, and the monkeys.
and the monkeys.
I'll give you everyone an XP for that because it was the first session and you did a lot of good investigating there. Did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters? I don't think we've revealed anything about each other yet, but I'll give you a second XP for showing up to the first session and building a character. So everybody take 2 XP check marks. Also, the ones you marked during your failures, your failed rolls also count.
Mhm.
If you get 1 or 2 yes answers at the hunters, mark 1 experience. Yes, I'm just giving you guys. So you had 2. Yeah, mark 2 experience. That's right. Let everyone revise aspects of your hunter now. So if there's anything you want to change between now and the next session, you can always log back in here and change things. Just let me know what you did change if there's something you want to change about your character between then and now. I'll also let you guys change things at the end of next session because this is technically session 0. Let's see. Ask them if they have any more ideas about their hunters' backstories. What are your hunters planning to do next? And your thought about the mystery. Anything you liked or didn't like. Any comments?
Mm.
After show
I
comments?
like the mystery. I think this little map is very neat.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I
do
like
like
the
this
map
little
a
map a
lot.
lot.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I do got to say, for the people watching on YouTube, we had a couple people when I posted the teaser that are like that follow my channel that were like, "Oh, I'm from Normal. I went to Illinois State." So I'm really, and I'm a gamer, so I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm like, oh no, like none of us are from there and don't really know the town that well. I hope we don't offend anyone. I did ask like what things have to be included, and they were just basically like the college, stuff like that. But I have to admit, this map is not a map of Illinois State. I thought it might be weird to have like murdered people in like the actual
In an actual place.
locations at a school. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a college campus mock-up. I don't even remember what school it's from, but it's not actually Illinois State. So it does look kind of similar though. But it's a cool map. I loved it. I thought it was perfect. So I'm glad you guys dug that. Yeah. What are you planning on doing next? You're gonna explore this building. Any other plans for what you guys want to investigate? There's
So
go ahead.
I'm interested in exploring the aspect of what exactly is going on. Like, are these monkeys intelligent and doing this on their own volition, or is somebody controlling these monkeys? That's what's racking my brain right now. Like, are these monkeys like monkeys that were in the medical lab and wanting revenge? Or are these monkeys minions programmed by like an engineering student that wants revenge?
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Good one.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I was gonna ask. You can always investigate like the medical school labs where the monkeys came from, and also if y'all come back during the day, I just thought it was spookier to start you at night, but you can come back in the day. Your characters can, and then they can like interview staff and students or whoever they want to talk to try and get more info.
Right.
I thought it was more
Yeah.
cool to
Ecto is pretty bad at like figuring out mysteries. He's more just really good at bashing and following fighting orders. So I'm kind of in the background and like walking around and stuff and looking at stuff while everyone else is doing the good investigation work. But whenever things get
Harry.
dicey, that's whenever I get energetic.
I love the ghost as like the brute of the party. Actually, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that is great, guys. Really good session. You got your XP. Let me see if there's any other end of session things we need to do. I don't think so. We gave everybody some shout outs. Yep, it's mostly just me getting ready for next time. All right, guys. Well, that is the stream. We will be back next Saturday around, hopefully right at noon next time, but we'll see. To follow up and see what happens next. This campaign's only going to be 2 or 3 sessions long, so we only have 2 or 3 more left to play. So make sure you check them out, and you can also get the VODs on YouTube. So we'll see you guys next time on Normal Illinois.
Bye, everybody.